Hey y'all. What is happening? Hold on, gotta bring my Zoom up. Okay. Hey y'all, this is Stevie with Redneck Economics. Um, Tonight I just wanted to go over real quick about the types of people that go to protests. So, of course, the majority of people that go, you know, what is going on? Hold on, there's gonna be feedback. Oh, that's why. Okay. All right. All right, give me just a sec. I got to get the tech stuff sorted out. Okay. All right. All right. So let's start over again. So, you know, who goes to these protests, right? So, the type of people that we want to organize and get together to go to these protests ideally are well informed, nonviolent, dedicated to, what they're actually protesting. And, those are the kind of people that we want at protests. But unfortunately, due to the type of society that we've set up, protests also can bring out the worst of people. That was definitely highlighted with the 2016 presidential election with the Trump rallies. Everybody knows about the Trump rallies and the violence and stuff. Well, it wasn't just the Trump people there. It just seemed like if you were looking for a fight, if you had something to take out, if you were angry about things, you could just go to a Trump rally, and you'll find a fight. You'll find a fight. So you had people on both sides that were doing that. Not to play the both sides thing, but I mean it's true. I mean it wasn't like the best of society that showed up there and was ready to fight people. And then on the other hand, you also have, so you've got the people like that. They just want to go. They just want to stir up some stuff. We saw that with Kyle Rittenhouse, I think his name is. Um, so I mean, he crossed state lines. I mean, yeah, I saw some evidence or whatever, supposedly that he was defending himself. I don't know, but even if that was the case, it's like, why did you go, travel to a different state with a gun? And it's just, I don't know, it's just so, there's going to be people there that are looking for trouble and looking for a fight. Yes. There's also going to be the influencers. So I'm going to share just a really quick video. It was from RT. I just wanted to share this one because it has like a really, a lot of really good examples of the kind of people that show up. So let me see if I can do this right. Nope, wrong screen. There it is. Okay.
Serious content crisis for social media influencers. I mean, influencers rushing.
Oh no, look at her. White privilege.
Many were horrified though to find their phones weren't pinging with as many like notes. One of the
Let's just get
were being destroyed.
Exactly what happened to the person that was driving this car or passengers that may have been inside.
This girl is making her boyfriend take a picture of her in front of a smashed T-Mobile.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really.
As for those who make their living from sharing beauty touring viral, and which
I think there might be
media platform in a bid to derail racist hashtag campaigns.
but you get the picture. I mean, it's good to have people there that have, a lot of people that, follow what they say. It's good to have people out there that's, taking pictures, sharing, artistic, creative, charismatic type. It's good to have those people there. But I have a feeling that none of those girls in those pictures posing, after they took their pictures, I doubt they picked up a protest sign and did something. So that's the difference. It's like, don't just show up and just, but this is what we're talking about. This kind of gets into the co-opting part of protests that I wanted to get into. It's just, yeah, Joe Nice DJ, yes, absolute, just vapid, so vapid. And it's the Kendall Jenner, drink a Pepsi crowd, give a Pepsi to a police crowd. They're just there for the show of it. So like I said, sometimes these protests, a lot of times, you'll get, people just, not the brightest of people that show up, or the most well, informed people show up. But anyway, but it gets into the, like, the more nefarious stuff. So that's more on the lighter end, like, if you have proper, people on security duty, making sure, everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, then, those things are, it's not going to happen. As far as, like, the fights and things like that, you can watch out. But the really nefarious thing are the agent provocateurs. Now, this has been a tactic that they've used for at least a century or more, well, longer than that. But they'll send people in and pretend to be protesters. They'll send people in to even infiltrate groups. The FBI has done that. Our government has a long history of doing that. So, unfortunately, but even Malcolm X talked about it. He talked about how, they infiltrate, they co-opt, try to gain information, they, try to do all this stuff. And in some cases, they'll even go out to these protests and they will instigate violence or instigate, not violence, but, property damage and things like that, just, to get things started, to paint that protest as violent, make people afraid of them and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go and find, let's see, we'll go to this clip of Democracy Now. Share screen. Okay.
By David Thurston Martin, who asks you, John Sayles, the FBI has issued new guidelines that loosen rules on the surveillance and infiltration of activist groups. In your classic 1987 film, Matewan, you dealt with a subject rarely portrayed in the media, the role of agent provocateurs in infiltrating and disrupting social justice movements. In the context of the FBI's new guidelines, could you talk about Matewan's relevance today?
Yeah, this is always, this is one of the things that you always have to keep a very close eye on, which is absolutely law enforcement agencies need to have certain powers of surveillance. There are people out in the world who are going to hurt other people, who are going to take advantage of other people. But there's the trade-off, which is that you don't necessarily trust those people to only be doing what they're supposed to be doing, those law enforcement people. They can also be just used as a weapon of whoever is in power at that moment. And when the FBI has been misused or misused its own power, we've had some, enormous problems. And some of them have been the use of agent provocateurs, where you get, there used to be jokes about, if you want to find the FBI agents in New York City, just go to the Communist Party cell meetings, because a third of the people are agents, or in some cases, agent provocateurs. During the Civil Rights Movement, there were a couple really disturbing incidents where one of the people in a car murdering civil rights activists would be an FBI informant. And there were some questions as to, okay, are they there, are they provoking something, or are they trying to stop something? Your article about the guns being released into Mexico is another one. And sometimes it's just bad strategy, and sometimes it really is the agency being misused.
Okay. So, he was referencing, instances from, about 60 years ago? Yeah. So, I mean, this has been a thing that they've been doing for a very long time. We even saw it happen up there at DAPL. They had some guy come in with, I think like a red bandana or something. Anyway, trying to stir up stuff, but they got him out of there really quick. Even, I believe he had a gun on him. So, I mean, they got him out of there quick. They recognized, what he was doing, and all that. So, that was handled very well. And that's just, that's the kind of thing of when we go out and protest, we have to be very careful how we do it and make sure that, it's not just us showing up and with a picket sign. We have to be aware of, these types of people. And, we saw it with the George Floyd protests. There was a cop that was busting in windows at the Target, and he was all in black, all this stuff, trying to obscure his face. But I mean, people recognized him. He was a cop. And he, a lot of times they'll come in and they'll do this stuff. Like I said, they want to paint the whole movement as violent, make people afraid of them, turn, the, popular opinion against them. And then I'll go ahead and get into another kind of co-opting, because this is what really all this comes down to, is just co-opting. Influencers co-opting, these people looking for a fight, they're co-opting it. You've got, agent provocateurs out there co-opting it. And then you also have the corporations, right? The same corporations that have their Black Lives Matter banner up on their business are the same ones that are exploiting, labor of Black people. They're the same ones that, pay off politicians for, so they can use, prison labor, which is slave labor, and yet they still, and that banner is paid for by that. So, I mean, there's so many different people looking to use and abuse the people out there that really just, are trying to get the things that they need and deserve. Ending racism, that, and we should all be behind that when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, right? I mean, who could say no to that? But the thing is that, there's this party and that party, picking sides, and they're really not even picking sides. They're both parties are on the same side. It's just that one, co-ops it, and the other one, fear mongers with it. So that's all it is. But I mean, there's all these different ways of co-opting, and it just, it's a way for them to undermine the cause. Whatever cause it is that you're fighting for, whether it's, Black Lives Matter, if it's healthcare, a living wage, whatever it is. I mean, they have ways, and this is what they do systematically, just, a little bit here, a little bit there. Oh, well, somebody busted in a window. Oh, well, I heard they were getting funding from some, evil billionaire, or I heard, so and so spoke out and said that they support the movement. Hillary Clinton. Oh, I support this movement. Okay, and then that's enough for people to say, okay, I don't want to be a part of that anymore if that's who's in it. Anything that she touches, pretty much nobody wants to be around. But they have, it's just, and it's not like one big thing that they do. It's just all these little different things. Well, I heard it here, I heard this, that, I just keep hearing all these negative things about, these people that are fighting back. And it's just like, what are they fighting against? Like, let's get back down to the core cause. The people that you see protesting, are the people that just, want to be treated fairly, just asking for things that they need and deserve. But, for some reason, they're the bad guys. And I know that not everybody's perfect. Like I said, ideally, the people that show up to these protests are very well informed and peaceful, but, it happens. But when you look at the scale of the protests, especially just the ones here, recently, when you look at the scale of the protests overall, you know, overall they're peaceful. I mean, I went to one here and it was just everybody was just hanging out. It wasn't anything like that. So I mean, for the most part, the protests are pretty peaceful. Um, but even when it's not, I mean, you can't say that graffiti is violence. It's vandalism, it's property destruction, but violence is what the cops are doing. Violence is what our politicians are doing, what these corporations are doing. This is all violence. Showing up and protesting, that is not violence. Not until you hurt somebody else, which they've hurt way more people, not only here but around the world. So their violence is absolutely, I mean, I can't even tally it up. The loss of life and pain and stuff that they put people in. I started doing this the other night because somebody made a comment on my last video about covering fake protesters. So I wasn't really sure what they were talking about, but that's why it kind of got me thinking about that. And Michael Mather, he's he's the one that told me about hybrid regime. And so it all plays a part in it. So how that fits into the hybrid regime is that you have all these outlets, right, for democracy, elections, protests, writing your congressman. You have the courts on your side. All these things. If things are if you're being treated unfairly, you can go to court, right? Well, that's what they say, but when the reality of it is like, okay, if you go to court, who are the judges? They're friends with the cops, they're friends with the lawyers, they're friends with the politicians. So that you're not going to get a fair trial. They're always going to come down on the side of their buddies instead of you. In most cases, they'll just, like I said, they'll throw you in jail to use you as slave labor. They'll, they will wring every ounce of labor and wealth that you have out of you. But that's, yeah. So we know the courts aren't on our side. We know the police aren't on our side. We know that the politicians aren't on our side. We know that they do election fraud and rigging. We know that it's just like the worst of the worst that end up as our president. I mean, when's the last time anybody's ever voted for somebody that they felt good about or thought that their vote actually counted? Maybe never. I don't know if that was ever a time when we actually had full control over our voting system, which that goes back to, election integrity. Without election integrity, you have no democracy. The foundation of democracy is gone. You can't vote these people out. You can't vote them out. Nancy Pelosi, Joe Manchin, they're all still in there. They're lifers. Why? Nobody likes them. Nobody likes them, but somehow they just keep winning. Trump won, Biden won. I mean, this shows how broken it is. We're supposed to have multiple parties, and there's only two parties that actually count. That what's the good of having all these parties if only two of them ever count? And even those two are one big corporate party. I mean, these are the people that used to work in the corporations that pay minimum wage, and then they go and they become politicians, and then after that they'll come back and they'll get another job talking on CNN, or they'll go back. I mean, it's all just very fluid. They just back and forth, right? It's just one big incestuous group of people. And it's just it's so childish. It's so childish that they look at us and say, well, if you just vote, If you don't like it, vote them out. That's not how this works. Not with gerrymandering, voter ID laws, closing polling stations down, switching people's votes, interstate cross check. They have all these different ways of saying you don't matter. Your voice doesn't matter. They skew the numbers. It's not, like I said, like with the protests, like how they, you know, turn, the opinion against the protesters is not just one big thing they do. They do all these little things to undermine it, right? And that's the same thing that they do with election integrity. They've done everything they can to undermine it. They've given, basically one giant party all the power, make it impossible for third parties to get in. And even if they could, I mean, they'll just throw your vote out, right? So, I mean, we have to have election integrity. I mean, that's just point blank for a working, functional society. And that's just one of the ways. That's just one of the ways that they undermine. And now people are making so little money. We have unemployment through the roof. I mean, boycotting and divesting are becoming less and less of an option because most of us don't even have enough money to pay our basic utilities and food, let alone divest from a company or, boycott a product, especially if, you can't afford to buy alternatives or find alternatives in your area. So, we just have to be careful of that. And sometimes there's people out there that, good intentioned people, like I said, good intentioned people, but, maybe misinformed, like people that think like as long as, vote blue no matter who, I wouldn't say they're bad people. I would say that they're highly misinformed if they think that the Democrats are going to do anything for them. But, their heart's in the right place, right? So, I mean, I'm not going to go full, like, crazy on them and just, oh, you're wrong. You can't do that. Let me tell you how you're wrong. It's just like, okay, I hear you. I hear you. But let's look at this, so it's just using the right energy. I'm not trying to focus my anger, at everything that's wrong right now, at people like that. I think eventually they'll come around to it. And if not, that's something, they got to make up their own minds about it. Right. I'm here. I share the information I get as I get it. Y'all share information with me and it's out there whenever it, if and when they're curious, right? It's there. It's there. So, yeah, so my main focus is just really getting a strategy and together, and which I pretty much have one. We've talked about it a lot, just organizing. Now it just really comes down to just organizing with people across, anywhere. I'll take anywhere, but definitely here in the United States. It'd be great if we could coordinate something, with other countries, people in other countries, like a global kind of thing. But, hopefully eventually we'll get there. But I think, it might even be easier to organize with people outside the United States, considering they probably know more about our politics than we do, which is sad to say, but yeah, we might be there. And I'm not sure if, I don't know who recommended Working Stiff USA, but thank you. I'm so glad I know about her channel now because I started watching a few of her videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what we were talking about. I mean, she's great. So I'm going to see if I can get her to come on because I really like her stuff. I mean, it's very straightforward. She's much more to the point than I am. We'll get on here and we'll kind of go on for like an hour or so. But her videos are pretty short. She usually keeps it under 10 minutes or around 10 minutes. So it's good little clips of stuff about, just how to organize, about different types of things that you can do, to help your community, stuff like that. So just really helpful information. It'd be really great to have her on and just talk about, where do we start? Like, what's the first step? Because I've been looking into ways of protesting, whether it's marches or boycotts, sit-ins, walkouts, stuff like that. And So it would be great to have her on because she seems very, very knowledgeable about it. I haven't gotten to research, look back into her videos too much. I'm not sure what kind of background she has, if this is something that she usually does, or she kind of just started like I did, which is just jumping in like, hey, I don't know what's wrong, but things are messed up. So let's start with that. But yeah, I think that would be a really great conversation. So who do we have in the chat? Michael Mathern. Good to have you here. Snork. Tamar. Indefed. Joe Nice DJ. Robbie M. Yeah, the South's not too bad. I mean, there's some areas that are a lot better. West Virginia, I like it. It's just, man, there's just nothing here. I mean, it's like if you like scenery, perfect place for you. If you like scenery, this is great. If you want to go out anywhere or do anything, not so much. But yeah, there's some really beautiful places in the South. Like North Carolina, I really liked it. I mean, you got the beach, you got the wages are better there compared to the price of living. So North Carolina is really nice. A lot of my family moved down there. Dandelions are food. Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. So I think so because I think she just started following me on Twitter. So I gotta reach out to her. I don't know if she's got the setup to do live stuff or anything, but even if not, maybe we can just like record it and put it up. Oh, Catalytic Centaur, hey. Oh, I gotta go to work. Yeah, it's getting pretty late in the night over here. Oh gosh, yeah, West Virginia needs jobs, but they're not interested in that. Oh, you live in North Carolina. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I really liked it down there. I was where did I stay? Somewhere around Gastonia. I think that's the name of it. It's pretty close to Charlotte anyway. Yeah, I loved it down there. I mean, I could walk to anything. It was beautiful weather. The beach was close by. I mean, oof. West Virginia's nice too, though. Oh, it's yeah, it's almost midnight here. Yeah, I gotta start shutting it down here soon. I got school tomorrow. It's a school night. Oh, I'm going to play one more video about agent provocateurs. I'm just a little scatterbrained today. I've been in mom mode, so it's gotta get hard to go from like mom mode to like reporter mode or whatever you want to call this. I don't even know. But let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and play this video for you real quick, and then we'll just we'll finish up. So, hold on. All right, share screen. Okay.
I ain't got part of that shit.
Now, I think that first clip was the one. Yeah, I think this is the one of the guy at Target. This is the cop that was saying that they found out it was a cop. They're like, this guy, I know him. This is a cop, and they showed his picture, and that's him.
They all look mighty white to me. Only white people doing this fucking shit, man.
Now, that is a good point. I mean, look, if anybody's going to get by with busting out windows somewhere, it's going to be a bunch of white people. I'm sorry, but that's insane. That's insane. I mean, I'm white, and I mean, like, I'd be afraid to do that. Like, this is brazen, like, just privilege, man.
Hey, were you at the protest? Yes. As a protester? Huh? As a protester? As a cop? Journalist. As a journalist? I saw you just getting out of a police truck. That's not a police truck. That's not a police truck? No. Nope. Who are you with? What? CNN. Oh, okay. Who are you with? Myself? Yeah. Were you protesting earlier? Yeah. Okay, cool. How'd it go for you? Pretty good. All right, let's go see if this is CNN. Hey, is that the protest that way? Who are you guys with? Are you cops? You're not? You seem like cops. Are you CNN?
One of the officers. Are you an officer? He is an officer. Look at him. He's one of these undercover guys. Look at him. Look at his hat. He's scanning your face. That's a cop.
Hey, officer, who are you recording?
Hey, officer, why are you scanning faces for?
Look at your back.
What are you scanning faces for? Look at this nigga scanning faces. He's scanning faces. Look at the cop. Hey, don't let the cop scan your face. Look at the cop over there. He just finished scanning everybody's face.
What are you gonna do, pussy? What are you gonna do, pussy? What the fuck are you gonna do, pussy? You're a bitch.
Cops. He's a part of the cops. Bro, that was completely fucked up, bro. To have this guy standing right there getting everybody antsy up. That shit ain't cool, man. That shit ain't cool either. Them lighting up the car, I don't agree with that shit on. But that guy lighting everybody up to fucking get boosted up, that's fucked up. And it was one of you guys.
Here, I'm gonna skip ahead.
Men were indeed undercover police.
Police know the criminal operation of the Black Muslim movement because they have thoroughly infiltrated it.
Everywhere, but I mean, it's really eerie when you're watching it like all together, when you're just seeing it, all the instances, like, because I mean, we'll see like one here, one there, but when you see it like just really laid out, like back to back like that, it's really jarring, I think. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about, really, was just to cover the different types of people, because there are, and there might be more. I might have missed some, of course, but that's just, yeah, the haircuts give them away, that's for sure. You can tell they're just all like just something you could just tell by the way I don't know, maybe by the way they talk or move or whatever. They just have that, maybe the haircut. Uh yeah, definitely the haircut. Oh, easy pass in the windshield, usually different colors. Okay. Oh, Tamara says Pennsylvania. See, the only time I went to Pennsylvania was I was going to WVU, and we had to drive over to Pennsylvania in order to buy Yingling. But yeah, I just barely went into Pennsylvania. I haven't really gotten to like visit or see anything. I'd like to go, because I know there's some historical sites and stuff up there, and Cheryl's from up there in Pennsylvania. It'd be nice to stop by and see her too. Not to mention stuck living with your parents because you can't afford to do. Yeah, I know. I mean, nobody can afford housing anymore. I mean, you got to live with like 5 different people in order to make rent. Hey, accidental activist, I've seen you around. I think, where did I see you? Over at Uphill Media, I think. I think it was Uphill Media. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. um, yeah, we're getting ready to wrap up now, but I gotta get in bed. Gotta get up for school. Pennsylvania is on the northeast corridor, Philly, New York City. So there's jobs. Oh wow, yeah, yeah. That's something we could use a few of those down here. One of these days, hopefully. Yeah. All right. Well, I hate to end it when I got so many people in here. But that's really it. Just, keep an eye out and just hopefully the next one, and maybe we can go over this if I get Working Stiff USA on here. Um, what are some good ways? I know James was talking about um, like some like defensive techniques where you have people like watching the perimeter and stuff like that, and we'll do a full show on like just how we can better find these people and minimize the damage that they're doing. I've seen some excellent footage of this one guy. It was at a BLM protest, and he was like bashing up the sidewalk, and they just swooped in. They said, they just swooped in. They held him down. They said, police right here, come get this, right here. This is the one you're looking for right here. Um, oh, Adrian. Oh, I got some more people here. We'll move to War Media Live with the, oh, I love Natural Progressive. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's such a sweetheart. She really is. I haven't, has she been doing shows lately? Because I saw she did a live stream the other night. Or actually, it was pretty early. But she did a live stream. But that's the first time I've gotten a notification from her in probably 4 or 5 months. Yeah, definitely reach out to her. She's great. She has a lot of great information as far as organizing goes, and that's what those are the kind of people we need to be talking to. I mean, we cover news here. We talk about certain things that are going on, but I always like to tie it back into something proactive, because I don't want to just sit around and talk about how things are wrong. Like, I mean, if I keep doing that, I'm going to keep covering the same story from now until the end of days. Like, I'm just going to keep telling you about corrupt politicians, and I'm going to keep telling you about corrupt businesses, and it's never going to end until we do something proactive. Because I don't want to keep covering stories. I would love to cover a story where it's like, oh hey, today this guy graduated from college with his free public education, and he went on to cure cancer. Like, that would be a really great story to cover. But right now I got to talk about death and poverty and war and corruption. So yeah, it would be great to not have to do that. Oh, she's on every Wednesday night. I wonder why I'm not getting notifications. I love watching her stuff. Huh. I'm gonna have to go back in and check that, because that's not right. Oh, just rebranded. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll go back through it. I'll see if I can see some of her older stuff. I know that people were trying to leave comments on mine, and it kept getting erased. Zox said that he tried leaving a comment like 10 different times, and YouTube kept erasing it. And at one point it popped up on my notifications, and even when I went to click on it, it was just gone. It was just Zox saying, hey, my comment keeps getting deleted, and then it was just gone. So I don't know. I was hoping maybe he'd be in here tonight to where I could figure out what was going on. But I mean, knowing that, who knows? Maybe he probably didn't get a notification. Let's see. Yeah, we got to talk, but it's got to be backed up with action. That's one of the things that James told me. His grandpa told him was, knowledge isn't it. Well, I'm probably going to butcher it, but knowledge doesn't mean anything unless you use it. You have to have an action behind it, or else it's just it's pointless. Yeah, YouTube. I mean, at least we're able to live stream tonight. I know the other night, like I said, I'm going to go do a live stream tonight, 10 p.m. And then I go on YouTube and everybody's YouTube is buffering. I was like, maybe not tonight, but eventually it worked out. So that was good. But let's see, the French are hardcore. They are proud of their lifestyle and they fight hard for. Yeah, yeah. I would like to see that kind of. I mean, I love the retaliation because I know that there was, and it wasn't just about the, the tax increase or the fuel price. Uh, I know that there was a lot of other things that went behind that, but I love it because they didn't say, okay, well, we're not going to pay that. We don't want that. They said, not only are we not going to do that, but you're going to do this. I mean, they didn't just draw the line with that one. So that's good. I mean, not only don't draw the line and then demand more. I mean, at this point, we're still demanding a $15 an hour minimum wage when that was obsolete years ago. Yeah. Now it's even more than that. I mean, I can't even imagine, living on $15 an hour in California or New York. So, I mean, what's $15 an hour to them? I mean, still it'd be better than what they get now, but it ain't making ends meet out there, that's for sure. The Black Fest. Oh, I think you mentioned that the other day. I didn't get around to looking that one up. I looked up some of these other things. But yeah, I'll get around to that. I'll probably do that tomorrow morning. So, all right. And we'll go ahead and shut it down. Oh, Dingo Ate Me Baby. Natural Progressive and Shonda and Oz are on their own new channel. War Media Live. Okay. Oh, they did. I thought I just saw them on there. Wow, that must have been like pretty recent. All right, I'll look up that channel, Roar Media Live. I'll go ahead and add them on there. Yeah, a lot of people are having to shift around on YouTube right now. It's crazy. I mean, I know Last American Vagabond, he had they deleted him off the internet pretty much, gave him the Alex Jones treatment. So a lot of people are having to go there. I know HLM, they had problems with their first channel. They had to go out to another channel. It's just a lot. It's a lot. Everybody's having to move around. So yeah, I'll go ahead and Roar Media Live. Next live stream probably going to be on Wednesday. I usually do them around somewhere our time, like between 9 and 10:30, 11 is when I like to go on because I'm slow. It takes me forever to get prepared and get ready. Okay. Yeah. Ryan's great. We actually got to talk to him. We did an interview over there on Monotalk's channel with him. Yeah, he's great to have on. Yeah, and I still need to back up mine. I got some kind of email from somebody on Twitter saying that they backed up my channel somewhere, but I don't know what that was about. But I gotta do something. I gotta put it over on my website or something. My website's blank. I've done nothing with it. I keep procrastinating. Oh, is it? Oh, crap. That's probably why I'm not getting the notification. That explains it. Thank you, Stork. Okay, so we'll work out a different time. Maybe just do one a little bit earlier then, or later. Yeah, I'd definitely like to go over there and watch her. So I'll figure it out. Probably do it after her because I'm slow. I'm a night owl. All right. So anyway, thanks everybody for stopping in and watching, and I'll see you Wednesday at some point. All right. Bye, y'all.